Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's episode, I'm going to be starting out my beds up at my new allotment plot. But first, I wanted to give you a little bit of an update on how my seeds were getting on. But before I jump into that, I wanted to say a big thank you to all of you who have recently joined the channel, and obviously all my returning viewers for supporting the channel, watching the videos, the wonderful comments and all the likes. It means the absolute world to me. And I know there's a lot of new faces, and I just wanted to say hi and that I appreciate all of you. I suppose probably a little miniature introduction. My name's Laura, if you didn't know, and I love to grow fruits and veggies in my tiny garden. But about 3 or 4 weeks ago, I got a new allotment. So that's basically been a whole new series on the channel whilst I'm trying to get that up and running. So a big thank you. I appreciate it so much. All the wonderful comments and everything. So thank you so much. But I digress. I will jump in and I will show you my seeds. You might also notice that I look a little bit casual today than I usually do. So I'm actually in my comfy clothes. It's raining today, so I won't be at the plot today, but we will be going up tomorrow and I'm going to be starting out my beds. So stay tuned later in the video and I'll show you how I get on to doing that. But I thought I would show you how the new lighting system is getting on, because obviously I don't have the most conventional lighting system right now. So I wanted to give you a little bit of an update on how my seeds are getting on since I sowed them last week with you in the shed. So my lights are going strong. They are looking great, which I'm super happy with. And then what I ended up doing was switching one of the battery lights to alternate them so that I could have it at a slightly stronger intensity. And then obviously the battery doesn't last the 8 hours with it at the slightly higher intensity, so I swapped them out. So that's what I've been doing with that. And then I've got some great results with my sweet peas, which I'm super happy about. So they have completely shot up out of the soil, which is amazing. So I'm super happy with that. My onions have completely shot up. I'm so happy with those. So the ones at the back are actually the silver skin onions, and then the one at the front are normal spring onions that are called White Lisbon, which I'm super happy about. I haven't actually looked under these cloches in here. So these are asters. Nothing's come up yet. They were actually slow last year when I started those from seed, so nothing in there. And do I have anything in my chilies? Which I do. There's a little chili right there, which is super exciting. So that's actually one of the, I've forgotten it already, how to pronounce it. Steve from Digwell Greenfingers actually told me how to pronounce it. I'll have to check and put it up on screen what he said. But basically, the way I said it in my last video is not how you pronounce it. I think it was like, is it ahi or archi or something? I can't remember now. I'll have to check. But yeah, got one chili popped up there, so I'm super happy about that. And then I'm just going to pop the cloche back on that, just till the rest of them actually germinate. And then I have a whole tray of wild pansies, which I'm super happy about. And then I actually picked up some potatoes, because what else are you going to do on a rainy day, because it's absolutely miserable outside. So I picked up some potatoes, which are British Queens, which I'm really happy about. I'm really looking forward to growing them. They're a second early, but the taste on these is meant to be phenomenal, and I would buy Queens anyway, so looking forward to that. I'm not doing any first earlies, so I'm just doing just a second early. And then I have some of my own saved seed here that's at the back, which is my Sarpamira, which I grew last year, which is looking kind of good. So they've been chitting there for a little while, but that was off my own crop from the 30 litre containers that I actually grew myself. So there are varying sizes in here. I'm not too sure how the little ones will do, but we're going to give it a go. And then over the back there is just my little box full of seeds. So I do need to invest in a beautiful little box for those. But I do have some really interesting stuff in there that I was sent for my Secret Santa. And I will show you. So I got sent some ochre, and it's these little cute things. So they're very similar growing to potato tubers, but I was sent them by my friend for my Secret Santa. So I'm going to grow those. I actually need to take them out to chit them, because she actually has hers chitting at the minute. And as you can see, the tubers are trying to grow. So I better take all those out. And there you have it. That's the little update on my seed station. So I'm super happy with that. And I must actually take these off of the propagator now that they have germinated. I should definitely get a few more of these going because that is not enough spring onions. I normally grow them in cells so you get a few clumps together, so I might actually switch up the tray that I put them in, but all in all, super happy. So that is the update that I have on my seeds. I'm going to stick my head in the books for the rest of the day, and I will see you bright and early tomorrow for a few more garden adventures. The home garden has been quite quiet up until now, but the very first spring bulbs have started to poke their little heads through the soil, which I'm super happy about. And my plum tree has just started to come into bud, and there is a cheeky little flower showing as well. So I'm super excited that the sign of spring is on the way. I'm really pleased that the spring bulbs have actually started to show themselves, because obviously if you remember, I planted these when it literally, the day after I planted them, the temperatures dropped like below freezing for a full week. So you guys were right, the bulbs are fine. Obviously there's only one, but hopefully it's a sign that the rest are going to start showing their heads soon. So I also had a little sneak peek at my broad beans. I wanted to take a little look under the cloche just to see what they were looking like. And as you can see, they're looking really, really healthy. A little bit of a sign of pest pressure on them. But what I'm going to do is put a little frame in, because they are starting to get a bit bigger, and I want to be able to put the frame in now so that I can tie them in, because they are looking a little bit flopsy and that they need to be tied in and picked up. With the frame that I'm going to build for the broad beans, it's literally going to be bamboo canes and these little connecting devices so that I can make little corner kind of folds for the bamboo to sit in. So it's really, really simple, and I just place in 4 canes and then 2 supporting canes across the length of the bamboo itself, and then I've tied it in at the back with some string. So that should keep us going until they get a bit bigger. And as we know, my bamboo last year wasn't that successful with the tomatoes, but I think with the bamboo on the broad beans it should be okay. In the tiny garden, I also have some overwintered salad, which has been growing really strong over the last couple of months. So I have taken a few pickings from this. I've got some rocket, some winter purslane and some landcress, and it is just the gift that keeps on giving. So it's been in the ground for a little while now, and I've taken, a few cuttings, and it was probably sown, I think it was sown the first week of September. So that's about 5 months or so that's been in the ground. So super happy with that, because it's had absolutely zero cover and the frost didn't get at it, and it's doing great kind of at the latter end of winter. It's kind of, since we've had a bit of warmer temperatures and the days are getting ever so slightly longer, it started to kind of give a little bit more in terms of its production. The other thing that I did this morning was a cheeky early sowing of some carrots and some parsnips. So now that I have the cloche off of the broad beans, I thought it'd be great, I can do an early sowing. The back of the packets say I can sow them in February. Now I know it's obviously a little bit hit and miss, and what do they call it, that kind of false spring. So if they don't work, they don't work. It's just to see, if it works, then I get a head start on the season. So I'm just going to sow 3 rows of parsnips and 3 rows of carrots. The variety of parsnip I have is called True and Tender. I grew this in my first year of gardening and they grew absolutely massive, but I didn't grow any last year, and I felt so sad that I didn't have them. And I'm trying a different carrot this year, which is called Rouge Sang. So it should be a beautiful blushed colour when it comes out. So 3 rows of each, and fingers crossed the weather stays good and this cloche will protect them and they will germinate without any slugs going to eat them. So I've received so much amazing, useful help and advice since I've started the allotment. And obviously I was looking for the most cost-effective way to start my raised beds. At home I have beautiful wooden raised beds. I was able to invest the money in it, obviously for a custom fit, obviously to maximise the space. The situation up here is slightly different, and I wanted the most cost-effective way. And what I think from everybody's feedback is starting in the ground is going to be the best basis for that. And obviously I'm going to try the new, is it new? Probably not new, but to me it's new, no dig approach. So my ethos is going to be laying down a thick layer of cardboard and then putting on a thick layer of mulch over the top. And I'm pretty certain that should be okay to go straight on top of the couch grass and the creeping buttercup that I have on the plot at the minute. So what I'm going to do is start away from the furthest point in the plot and work my beds this way towards the shed. Now obviously I do have space further out from this fence, and that's enough space for some flower beds and another bed to go in here. I just need to figure out where to put all of that stuff and figure out how to get rid of it. So I think from this spacing forward is going to be an area for composting, and took everybody's advice and realised it needs to be a sunny spot. So this seems to be a super sunny spot. Most people's compost bays are at the very end of their plots. So it's between the fence and the end of the compost bay is going to be about 7 foot-ish to give me space to wheel my wheelbarrow in. I'm not sure which way yet it's going to be, maybe in this way, but then I'm like, if I have the compost bay stacked here, I might be working against myself. So I have obviously 4 foot of compost bay width and then 3 foot of being able to get like a wheelbarrow in. I've got a couple of screwdrivers because I'm going to map out my beds, because I've measured up and I'm going to do, I think it's roughly 4 foot by 8 foot beds with a 3 foot pathway. But I just want to space it out with screwdrivers first just to see what it's like. And obviously make the bed kind of true to a rectangle as I can, and then I'll go in and put my cardboard in between. So let's go. Is literally all chicken wire, and it is so hard to get up. Can someone please fly to Ireland and help me, please? And there you have it, my first 2 no dig beds on the new allotment. I'm super happy with the progress that I've made. I do intend to have grass pathways along here. I did obviously have to take the chicken wire up in order to get these beds down, so it's definitely going to get a lot messier before it gets prettier, but I am absolutely covered head to toe in muck. I'm filthy. I'm going home to get cleaned up. See you next week. Bye.